to another video, and apparently it didn't reset all my data, but I might just go back to the start. Anyways, we were right here. So, let's continue.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, maybe. No, so we did save. Okay, perfect.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I like this game. This is a really fun game. And I'm also going to do Arkham Asylum, too. I recorded that last night. I just need to edit it. So, yeah. There will be a VOD for the Stanley Parable. I might put a whole video together. I'm thinking about it. Sorry, I was drinking some Mountain Dew. Just woke up this morning. So, you know what?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be.
Yeah.
The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Ultra-deluxe
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Stanley Parable 2? The end is never...
Yes, you see. Isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Honestly, this game's so fun. I could play this for hours.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Sweet. Or is that supposed to be like it too? If they actually ever do make a sequel of this game, I think it would be cool if it had some story to it.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Game development's hard, bro. Oh my god, bro. It is so difficult. Same thing with making a movie, too.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
No way. Merch? Nice. Stanley Parable... I don't know what that's... I can't say that. And please, no screenshots. Stanley Parable 2. Okay. That's new. So I think this part of the game is just messing around in this part, which I'm totally fine with. Let's continue. Free, new plus easy achievement. Okay. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement, no more steps. It just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley. but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Honestly, if they do make a sequel, bro, that would be crazy. I would play it. I would really do. I'm having a great time playing this game. It's actually really fun. I would totally play a sequel of this. But I guess the Ultra
What
Deluxe
else?
is just a
What
sequel.
other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
2.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Well, what can I choose? Oh, there we go. Stepniece? Hell nah.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, stepniece, it is.
No! Oh no. Stepniece.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
There's a new content area that way. I wonder how I get up there. I want to see the bucket. That's what I want to see.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
Reassurance. Oh.
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable.
Oh, 4, 3,
Can you
1.
imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Yo, I don't think I should give it a try when you say it like that.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Thanks.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
My haircut's totally...
All this and more,
it's not attractive at all, so maybe this bucket might work. Just place that on my head. Bro, the developer who made Ultra Deluxe had to think about this. It's crazy. How do we get to that new content?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Oh, we already went through here. What's this door? No? Okay. There's new content right there. Infinite hole? The heck? You can find them. Oh yeah, collectibles. And I got my bucket with me.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2,
I don't care about my bucket, buddy. Get out of
miniature
here.
Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Yo! Oh, there's actually 6 of them? So, you know me, bro. I'm gonna look for the...
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolute. You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
I wonder in last episode if I jumped a little bit, I wonder if it actually would keep count. It probably would. This game's insane. It probably would keep count. I'm gonna look for those collectibles though. Setting World's Champion, Infinite Hall, free achievement. We saw the free achievement. Let's go to the Setting World's Champion. Yeah. Okay, I can't go there, so we're not going there. We're gonna go to this free content one, the one I always wanted to go to. Also, I actually wonder if there is 5 other collectibles still left. It might be around the whole game, but if it's still in, if it's in this area, then I'll look.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the... well, we'll figure that out later.
Is that it? That's actually cool. Maybe you could have done that.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want?
The perfect
and of course,
button.
the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button that speaks the... Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
My name's Jim.
Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
I hope I can keep this bucket.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping and waking as Jim.
Clapping
falling in
cheeks as
love
Jim.
and being heartbroken as Jim. Seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim. And as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Damn, what the hell?
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Yes,
If
I
so,
clap
then
people's
please
cheeks.
Step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes, you see,
I love
what a
this
thrill, what a rush, that was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
I'm taking a sip.
Jim.
Oh, it hits even harder the second time. If
Yo!
this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Okay. We pretty much explored most of everything. I don't think there's, why should I always think there is probably
I suppose
5
I could
other-
allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Where is these collectibles? Because I actually want to collect them. We don't show, the button that says the name of the player. Oh, we already saw one. Ooh, that's a cool level. What does it says? The new updated ray traced, more of the same, but in a good sequel to the... Okay. Red is the new orange. Whole new office. Yeah, that'd be cool, actually, though. The baby's all grown up. What? Honestly, why don't I take a screenshot? Oh, I'm gonna take a screenshot on my Switch. Does it not do anything? What is this? Oh, I'm gonna try it. No, it doesn't do anything. Oh, well, that sucks. That would be a cool little feature, but no. Developers actually cool. Okay, so we saw the collectibles. There's the exit. Let's check the infinite hole, and then I think we're done with the place. And I got my bucket, and if I lose my bucket, next time we reset the game, I'm gonna be real mad. I like my bucket. My bucket's me.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
No!
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
I didn't
Now then,
fell.
since you've gotten to
fall
see the infinite hole,
it made me fell.
you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Great.
Okay.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again?
Yeah.
I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show
Can I
you some
teleport?
more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know. I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever?
Me?
The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem.
Hey!
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
Yeah, you
Why
bit.
don't we just put
Okay.
all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the
Okay.
top of the hole, and we
Well,
can...
I looked at everything.
I'll just be up here
I can't
when
find
you're
those
ready.
collectibles. The mostly. Oh, it actually changed. I actually can't find the collectibles though. I think I actually wanted to look for them. Say in the go down in the comments and say, is there is there actually any collectibles? Because I really want to collect them. And after, because this is still my first playthrough. After we're done with the playthrough, then we'll check it out. But yeah. Because I haven't got one of the endings yet. Well, I think I got the original ending, but I resetted my game. So this game's confusing, okay? Okay, we checked out everything. I wanted to look at more collectibles. Can I collect this? Yeah, that'd be cool. If I could. No? Okay. This map. Merch. What percent was opposite creation to open last collectibles and for one exit. Yeah, I checked everything out. That took me 18 minutes.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
Yeah.
Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's
I'm blind.
sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on.
I can
Let
jump.
me do a different arrangement.
Oh, you gotta it has to be a real
Yes,
game.
this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. and I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
That's a sequel.
Of course, with respect, with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
We're starting from the beginning. Okay. I hope this takes me to one of the endings. Whoa, this is cool! A Stanley Parable 2. Yes, I beat the game, complete the Stanley Parable at 2/16/2025. Quit the game and start it again. And I'll check in back in the next 10 years. So if I'm 14, next 10 years will be out 24. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm stupid sometimes.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
There, I accidentally hit my knee on the desk. Look at it, even has the balloons and everything. This is crazy.
Where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not...
Phone, don't act up now. Okay, we're back. So, let's get back into it.
One single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
My phone just a little bit.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Where's the bucket? Is the bucket in here? Where's the bucket? Hey, can I open this door? Where's the bucket? 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 There's a bucket? Where's the bucket? I need to find my friend, my bucket pal. Can I open this door? No? This door? God dang it, phone. Okay, we're back. Can I go through? No? Okay. Sorry for, all the little things. My phone keeps falling off. So, yeah.
When When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's go to the left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Oh, there's no bucket.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
There actually is collectibles.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
Okay.
You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay. There actually is collectibles. Okay, I'm gonna get all of them.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
No!
He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished.
I
His
hate
boss
this,
would think
because
he was
I hate
crazy.
this ending.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as
There's no way
Stanley
out of
pondered
this
this,
ending
he
either,
began to make
which
other
actually makes me
strange
mad, but-
observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Yeah,
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
I'm in a video game.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
Yes,
Were
it's
they
the same
simply
rooms over and
repeating?
over again.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone.
Yo,
He wasn't going to lose his job.
let me out.
He wasn't crazy after all.
Let me
He
out.
thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll
I'm
have
stuck.
to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Yo,
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he
Can
was
this
in
end?
control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh, okay.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
This game's amazing, bro. The only reason why I don't like that ending is because it gets so boring. Oh, it's still the sequel, though. The sequel, quotation marks.
All of his co-workers
Were gone.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Meeting today in the meeting room. Okay, that's new. The bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yes! I missed this bucket, bro. Okay, bro, me and him are like best bros.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, I'll follow his rules. I'm thinking there's a collectible upstairs in the boss's room. What? The hell? Mission status. Large room, lots of boxes. There will be a world. Oh, this is a collectibles. Trust is to complete room. And then I can tell if you spot one will float in the air. Who took these pictures? I found clues provided by employee 416. We can do it. Red route. I already saw that one. Thank you. Good luck. I found that one though. That would be crazy if there's a collectible in here. Damn.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
There should be a collectible in here. Oh, I forgot about this. There is.
Another miniature
Yes!
Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
I like that.
Stanley figs. What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that.
I like mini
Another
stands,
Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay, I got 3 more to look for, guys. I don't know what that means. Maybe if I look in here, there's an elevator. Does it open? Okay. Oh, cool. There was a figurine in here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable.
Yo, bro, dime me up, bucket.
At this point, Stanley was
oh crap! I hit my phone.
spiritual.